In your article, you compare session replay and usability testing. Could you explain how combining these two methods can provide a more comprehensive understanding of user behavior? Like, we want a complete comparison to see how session replay can help us versus how usability testing can help us.
I think that sometimes, as analyst or UX designer, UX researcher, we often forget that one of the most important strengths that we have in our hands is data triangulation. No? There is never, the perfect research method that is gonna encompass everything that you actually want to know. No? And this article try to explain in this, in this manner how it's important to combine multiple data from multiple sources if it's possible. Then in reality, there are budget constraints, time constraints, so it's not always possible to have multiple data from multiple sources. But when you have the opportunity, the best strategy, I think, is always look for heterogeneity of data. And session replay, usability testing, as other, research methods, have their pros and cons. No? If we start from session replay, I think that the big advantage of a session replay is to be basically a huge scalable research method. Basically, you can in a short time frame record multiple data analytics from multiple users, as I have highlighted in my article, theoretically speaking, from thousands of users. And the data that you are able to track are pretty similar to what you could potentially track in usability testing. So metric like task completion, so how many users were able to going from A to Z, error rate, the time on task. So when I think while they provide you with a huge amount of information, they lack some depth. It's basically in answering the question why this is happening. So for example, in my article I highlighted the topic of rage clicks. So in the session replay, you can detect the user for example clicking in a compulsive way many times on a button, no? And this very likely could potentially highlight that there is a sign of frustration, but you are not able to explain 100% why this is happening. And here you can combine this information with the usability testing, especially moderate usability testing. So sitting close to the user, understanding and asking questions that can basically help you understand why this is happening, why this hesitation, why this frustration is going to complement the information captured in session replay. And then the last thing that also comes into my mind is that this combination can work in multiple stages of product development cycle. So pre-launch of a feature, you collect your information and you get an hint of what you could potentially investigate further. It can work, and then potentially you are going to investigate further through usability testing. In the post-launch of a product, so you tested your product with a prototype to usability testing, then you want to understand how this is working in the real world situation with users, and you keep detecting the user behavior through session replay. So you see how the combination can work throughout the entire product development cycle.